He's just said it, so he technically can. He said it and there's no comeback. Oh. Hello, it is the club call. It's Wednesday, the 26th of April. Yeah, it's the day before. The day before.
The day before.
The day before D-Day.
The day
is what people are building it up. People are building it up to be like a cup final like that. I just don't know whether I'm ready for that.
Biggest game.
No, don't.
Pele. And
biggest game on Saturday.
Took on the Nazis.
Biggest game since Saturday. No, it's it is. There you go. There is going to be a bus welcome. Not the doodah on there, mate.
Oh, the telly? I mean, you could have just said the telly.
So if you are a Premier member, then the link is in the description here, ready for you. Call in, give us your opinion on anything.
Anything?
It can be Sean Dyche's press conference, bus welcomes, MSP, 777, whether you'd smoke grapes. Anything. It can be anything. Anything.
You can't.
Anything. It could be anything. We just, who knows? Who knows? I've just said stuff now. I think you just need to chill.
I think you just need to relax yourself. Listen,
yeah, you just get back to your chocolate.
Back to
how many chocolate bars has he got in that bag?
Literally, honest to God, he got chocolate. He opened his bag and it was like
Billy bag.
Like, honest to God, like Willy Wonka had just come out of hiding.
Willy Wonka had done a home delivery for him.
I don't want to know where he hid the cream egg, but that's a different story.
6 Titan bars in his hand.
6 Titan bars.
What if he just dead?
For camping.
What if he just dead?
Camping? When are
you're eating them now, though. They're gonna be gone by the time. When are you going camping? Friday.
On the weekend.
With who?
No, when though?
The Hobbits.
No, when?
Saturday.
I thought it was Friday.
No.
Saturday. Okay.
Where are you going camping?
With the Hobbits.
In a field.
In a field.
Put your mic on and put the camera on.
It's not working.
No, it is working. Put the camera on now.
It's literally working.
Put the camera on or I'm sacking you.
You can't just.
I can't. I part own this company.
I love the way he says it.
You don't put that camera on.
That's unfair.
Ned, you've got 2 minutes to put that camera on or you're sacked.
That's unfair.
There you go. See? Carrot. Donkey.
I love the way he just said you can't just say it. The best line he uses, actually, it's the best phrase that he says, isn't it? You can't just say it. It's the best thing.
Funny thing is,
the best thing about him.
Powerful men in powerful positions can say anything they want.
There you go.
That doesn't mean it's not unethical.
It mightn't be ethical, but you know what? The world is an unethical place. You learn that when you get past 14.
It is. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Did we have a caller already?
Yeah,
we've got Mike.
Well, what's happening? Why isn't he? Why have you not?
Because he was just playing his part.
Oh, okay.
Funny little romp.
Oh, okay.
There you go. If anyone wants to ring up and talk to Ned about his experience on the jury duty, ring up and ask. I would love to hear his reaction to that.
Yeah, interesting.
I'd love to know.
Anyway, let's see what Mike's got to say.
Is Mike there?
Is Mike there?
Mike. You alright, boys?
Alright, Mike, you okay?
Yeah, good, you?
Yeah, good to have you on, mate.
First time calling. I don't exactly have the perfect phone voice, so...
It's sound, mate. It's sound.
Apologies for that. Couple of points.
Go on.
If you don't mind.
Go on, mate.
Not to start off on a negative, but I do think we are probably going down, sadly.
Okay. That is quite negative, to be fair, but fair play, Mike. Yeah. Fair play, Mike. You warned us.
Yeah.
And then you've dived in. That's fine.
Little bit of a contradiction there. I apologise.
No problem.
My first point is, I know there's no match tomorrow night, but what's the plan going forward? Is he going to continue after the season?
I don't know, mate, to be honest. I don't know what the situation is on that. I mean, obviously, I think tomorrow is all about, coming together, isn't it, as a fan base? but I don't really know what the plan is. I mean, I suppose that's in Everton's hands. I think, isn't it? I think it's in Everton's hands. You'd like to think, genuinely, wouldn't you, that at the end of this season, decisions will be made for the not because fans have been protesting as such, but just for the better of this football club. You'd think big decisions have to be made, and if those big decisions are made, then and you know, fans, it's a fresh start, then fans will obviously stop protesting and give people a chance, because I think that's all it's about. I think for me, I mean, that's all it's about. I'd certainly, you know, there's a lot of talk, Mike, about new people coming into the club and new investors and all that kind of thing. I mean, with you know, MSP 777, all this kind of thing. I think that'll sort itself out once the season's over and we know where we are next season. And I think I imagine from an organising point of view and from a fan point of view, certainly personally, I'm willing to give new people an opportunity and see where they go, you know, because ultimately, what are people protesting for? People are protesting because they're not happy. They're not happy with the people we've got on the board. It's not an unhappiness that Everton are rubbish. It's an unhappiness that the club is being steered in for many people in the wrong direction by the same people. So if those people go and we get fresh people on the board and fresh ideas, then I think for me we should all come together and give those people a chance. I don't think anyone's protesting for the sake of protesting, because what they want is new people, and hopefully those new people come in. And I think once that gets sorted, Mike, I think we can all move on.
Fingers crossed it happens sooner than later.
Yeah.
My next point was on our beloved chairman. I find it quite astonishing that Bill still has supporters in the fan base. And I was speaking to me uncle a few days ago, who after the statement was released, and he was shall we say, still on the fence, which I find baffling. I've obviously grown up with this. I know no different other than Everton and Bill Kenwright, and we all want the best for the club, but I think the best situation now is for him to accept that he's not it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right, mate. And listen, there are people out there who, and we spoke about this lots, there are a lot of people out there who obviously like Bill Kenwright because he's an Evertonian and because they believe he's done good things for the football club. I disagree with that personally, but I understand why people believe that. And I understand, me and Baz were having a conversation yesterday saying, like, 10 years ago when the club was quite stable, or 10, 11 years ago when the club was quite stable and people were protesting against them, you can understand why there was so much backlash at the time, because the club was very stable and there wasn't much drama, and we were finishing, you know, in decent positions, and Bill Kenwright would come out and say, well, I'll give him all the money I've got. And I think, you know, at that time, when he sold the club, he was seen. It seemed like he'd done a really good job, and obviously a lot of people at the time said, "Oh, we'd love to have a chairman like Bill Kenwright. Oh, Everton is such a stable club." But unfortunately, all that's unravelled. And just from I continue to say this, and it's not a personal thing. Just from a basic point of view, if you were to take a step back and look at any company and say, should any company have a 77-year-old man who's not in good health, you know, he said that himself, should they be the chairman of a football club? Maybe not running a football club, but a figurehead, someone who clearly influences a lot of decisions at the football club. That, you know, and we know he doesn't run it day to day, but But so what? Running a club day to day doesn't mean you make big decisions anyway that affect the club. Bill Kenwright said himself on many occasions, when it comes to negotiations, he does the negotiations. He's the best man for the job and all that kind of thing. So he clearly has a massive presence at the football club. He's also a big human shield for Farhad Moshiri, and that's probably why Farhad Moshiri's kept him at the club. But I think, you know, whether it was like the Prime Minister of this country, or certainly if Everton were a publicly traded company, you know, and had public shareholders, there's just no way Bill Kenwright would still be the chairman of the club. There's just no way. And that's the way I look at it. I don't think there's any reason to get personal with Bill and whatever people feel his accomplishments. I just don't think right now. I think he's had his chance. The club is in an absolute terrible place on and off the pitch. You know, another relegation battle. We're going to the well again as fans to try and save us. We are off the pitch. We are in danger of a points deduction. You know, we are going to this commission. We are losing money every single year. These are not cheery things. We want to be talking about really positive things. And sadly, in the last few years, those things have just not been. You know, where we are, and you know, obviously talking from what we do every single day. It's so funny when people go, "Oh, could you be a little bit less negative?" And it's like, please give me somewhere to, please show me the positives that we can talk about, and we will. And I think it's funny because Newcastle tomorrow. When you look at Newcastle as a football club, what they did when the new owners come in, whether you agree with the new owners or don't agree. The new owners got rid of all the negative aspects from the football club and put all the right people in charge, and went after the likes of Dan Ashworth and said, we're going to create a culture, not a smash and grab where we're going to buy all the best players. We're going to build a culture. And I think that's what we have to do as a football club. We have to eliminate all the negatives, all the little side stories, and that means people like Bill Kenwright, Denise Barrett-Baxter, well, the entire board, without singling anyone out, the entire board really all have to leave. And then I think as fans, we can go, right, that's done now. Let's give these new people a chance and see where we end up. And hopefully we get good people. Because fundamentally, we're still a very good club. We're still a very big club. We still have a lot of amazing people working at our football club. You know, the people who are working now on the stadium to get flags out and all that kind of thing. They're people who do about 10 different jobs. And we've got a lot of people who go past what their job is and do so much for this football club. And it's important that those people are retained at our football club. And right now they're in danger of losing their jobs, because if Everton go down, they're going to have to cut so many people, so many staff. And that's the real sad part of this. The real sad part is people who are big Evertonians who work day and night to make this club what it is, you know, all those great things we love seeing, whether it's, you know, looking after the gentleman who was celebrating it to the front of the Gladys Street, or giving, you know, that the young lad an amazing day to meet Jordan Pickford. Those things don't happen by accident. They happen because great people work for our football club. And there's such positive things. The stadium's going up. It's amazing. I want to enjoy these things, like, just in a very basic way. Don't have to win every week, do we? We just, because that we know we're not stupid. We all know what football is now. We know, you know, Manchester City versus Arsenal tonight. Manchester City are 5 points behind, and yet everyone knows that if they win tonight, that's it. The league is over, because they are such a powerful juggernaut. So no one's asking for much, I don't think, and that's what motivates me, Mike, to turn up at the marches. And, you know, I've seen you there. I mean, last time I seen you, nearly ran me over, mate. But you know, you nearly took my legs off. But it's just, if we can get those wins as on and off the pitch, the world just seems such a nicer place, doesn't it? Everyone, if we win tomorrow, the world on Friday morning will seem like the best place in the world, and that's all we ask for, isn't it? It's not much.
Yeah, definitely. I would say you were special if I tried to run you over, but I do that with everyone. I've just got one final story, I suppose. I heard in the pub, so it's really reliable information, probably. That, you know, when we beat Palace, the last game of the season, and apparently Frank rushed up to be with Bill and everyone.
Yeah.
according to someone I speak to, Bill was pointing at Frank and telling him, physically pointing at him to get up to him.
Oh, yeah.
And actually sent someone down to physically take him to the director's box.
Well, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, mate. He's going to see his biggest fan anyway.
I know, yeah, so I believe the biggest Everton.
He was going to make sure he was getting paid that month.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, cheers.
Mike, great to have you on, mate. And hopefully, we were just talking then, hopefully, you know, fingers crossed we can plan another Toffee TV premiere night, and it'll be, you know, be nice, and it'd be lovely to see you as well, and all the other people who go, because they are cracking nights, and it's great when we get to meet people who you know, we only ever see in the comments, or now we hear you. Mike, give us a ring whenever you want, Mike. It's great to hear from you, mate.
I will do.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers,
Mike.
See you later,
mate.
mate. Ta-ra, mate.
Bye.
There you go. Mike, top man, Mike.
Yes, good lad.
Met him a couple of times at our premiere nights. Absolutely great fella.
Good. Tom Wright says, all right, guys, what have you made of Duncan Simon Forest Green? He's done really bad, hasn't he? Poor Dunk. He's my idol. Bit harsh. It hasn't gone brilliantly, but I think he knew that going in. He were already, 6 points adrift, weren't he? And he's had 4 or 5 players out who apparently they're better players. Always going to be difficult, but I think he's always planning for next season anyway. So next season will be interesting because pre-season, clean slate.
He got 5 years on a contract in the summer. It's always going to be difficult. He's not. I know it. I do. Do you know what makes me feel a little bit sad? And I don't know whether you. There's a lot of. I do think there's a lot of people who want him to fail.
Yeah.
Just to say,
feels like it.
I told you so.
Well, what it is so they can say, "See, I was right. He should never have been."
But for me, and I'm also. I've been keeping an eye on his results all the time, but I also keep an eye on David Unsworth's results. I think
They've done all right.
I think he's turned it around brilliantly.
They've done all right, yeah.
And I just think, as a manager who's never actually managed anyone before, I just think it does take time to get a grip of it. And listen, he's never managed, and he's certainly never managed at that level. And there's something, you know. I think personally, someone went to. We spoke about a few weeks ago. Someone went to watch them at Atkinson Stanley. They messages one of our Premier members. They messages and said, went to watch the game. Everton weren't playing on the Saturday. Went to watch them, and you know what? He said they were really good, and then they got a player sent off, and then it all fell apart. He said, but they were playing lovely football, and I think it's the problem with that level is I don't know whether lovely football is actually what you should be playing, and I think it'll take Dunk some time, but I think it's important that because we all sit here and we've talked about Lampard and different people, and we've all sort of gone, you know, Lampard and Gerrard, and God, do you think they are coming into these clubs and all that kind of thing? And yet someone like Dunk's gone to a Forest Green and he's not doing well, but at the same time he's finding out about the club, he's finding the identity, they're finding out about him,
well.
He's finding out about the league, he's finding out the levels, what you can play and what you can't play. Surely we want ex-players to go to these divisions and do well. And you know what? Do well for him. I'm not asked about whether he ever becomes Everton's manager or not. I'd love Dunk to do well for him. So he can go, you know what? I did say I am a good manager, and that's all I hope for.
You just want him to do well. He's got. It's dead easy to think these managers go in and if they're any good, they'll make this better and this better straight away. But ultimately, it comes down to players at the end of the day. Now, if your tactics, and that's great, and it is, and it's about ethos, and it's about can you build a younger team and do this, that, and the other. There's a lot of all them challenges, but ultimately, when those players cross the white line, are they good enough? Well, Forest Green, I think he's the third manager they've had this, and they're not good enough because they were 6 points adrift when he went there. So they quite clearly weren't good enough, were they? Because they were already bottom, and I don't think they can lose 4 or 5 players and perform higher. You know, took Tyler on Yango in the second game, whatever. He got hamstrings out for the rest of the
And
season.
there's things like that, isn't it? He might think that the key to it is like, you know, I'll take loads of young players, but what he might learn is actually needs a few experienced players, and now now maybe he goes back and goes, well, you know what? I know him that are 26, 27 year old. They might have knocked down the bottom leagues. I'll go and get them, and I'll bring them in, and I can't wait till he's in the Wrexham documentary. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
That's what you've got to look at.
That's what you got to look for. So, have we still got Astro?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's get Astro on. Astro, how are you, mate?
I'm dashing around, mate, getting ready to go to the old doctor's office, mate. But other than that, you know, not bad. How are you guys?
Fair play. I was thinking about you, Nick, yesterday, because just before we start, Jason Sudeikis was on the One Show here, obviously Ted Lasso, and he was telling the story of, like, they were like, oh, wait, you know, where'd you get all your sayings from? And he was like, oh, I had this gym teacher when I was a kid, and he loved talking about as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, and they were all just their minds were all blown, and they were all trying to work out why and then they were like, oh yeah, I get it. And I was thinking, just listen to Nick. Just listen to Nick. Says it all. Astro says it all the time. Like, what's wrong with you people? Isla Fisher, what's wrong with you? She was on it as well. I was like, you know. So basically, that's, there you go.
Those kind of sayings, right? Like those kind of sayings, like they're so like regional.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, like in the Southeast, you're going to have some, and then obviously everywhere else. Like, isn't there a part of England where people call each other duck? I mean, like, where's that at? All right, then, duck. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Midlands. Yeah. So you see what I mean? Like, it's, of course, so it's all about, you know, regionality and person.
That's it. What if you've just touched someone and he went? Where's he gone? Oh, we can't.
No,
sorry. Hang on, sorry. Baz is messing with the mic. Sorry, Astro.
That's me. That's me.
It's the headphone.
That's me. That's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah, no. I was just saying, you know, it's regional. It's regional and it's personal, you know. So, but no, just a real quick one, right? Like, have you ever heard of a Fortune 500 company whose executive branch can't get into the office because the place is surrounded by angry and upset customers? Have you ever heard of that before? Where like maybe that happened and then like they kept their jobs for I don't know, not a week but years.
Are we a Fortune 500 club?
No, but mate, it's for the purpose of illustration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A multi tens of hundreds of millions of pounds corporation. Yeah. No, I think Mike earlier really hit the nail on the head, and he had some great opinions. I only caught part of it, but like, seriously, it's time. Yeah. It's time for Everton to reboot. It's time for Everton to have a really long set. Like, listen, it's like the doc. The doc told me that I had a fat neck the other day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, Nick's got to put them cheeseburgers down, baby, because the flight doc done told me I got a fat neck. I slapped him across the room. He said I had a fat neck. He did. He sassed me. He sassed me and told me I had a fat neck.
Is that a regional?
No, that's not regional. Nick, that's universal. Honest, mate, that's an insult.
Give it 6 months. Give it 6 months, and all the women in Hollywood will want a fat neck. Honestly, you know the way they've all gone for the Kardashian ass. The next thing is an Astro neck. They all want an Astro neck. They all want an Astro neck.
Fair play.
You ain't styling and profiling until you scrolling around with an Astro fat neck, okay? Between your head and your shoulders, that's where it's at.
Where it's at.
Get you that fat neck. But it's like, I don't know. I'm all over the place. More so than normal, and you can tell. But no, listen, like, there's so many things, right? Everton needs to get all of its marbles in one sock, and for God's sake, let's draw it down from that big strategic picture down to as tactically minute as we can be. Just win. Yeah. Just win. Oh, my God. How long has it been since we won a football match? It feels like we hadn't put 3 points on the board in a month of Sundays. And the results are going our way. I mean, listen, Patrick Bamford couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a bass fiddle. That old boy couldn't have scored in the whorehouse with a roll of cocaine, a roll of hundreds, and a 8-ball of cocaine in his hip pocket last night. Everything's going our way. You know, we got to help ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We've
know
got
exactly
to help
what you're saying.
ourselves.
I can just see Patrick Bamford walking around the whorehouse now. That's all that's in my mind. Fair play.
I'm just saying. Listen, he makes all that Leeds money. He's got that Abercrombie and Fitch, catalog cover money.
Yeah.
So
But you know what he hasn't got,
you know?
Nick? Know what he hasn't got?
What?
Fat neck.
What?
He hasn't
ain't
got
got a
fat
fat
neck.
neck.
to be
Hasn't got a
fair.
fat
Listen,
neck.
he ain't got
If he had a
that
fat neck, he might have
Astro.
scored.
I know. If he had that fat neck working for him, he could have scored. He could have bounced it off that fat neck, and he'd have never even felt it. It would have gone straight in the goal. You know what I mean? Forget
happened
headers,
to you?
baby.
No,
it's all about that necking.
It is.
So,
it
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. No, listen, just I haven't had the opportunity to contribute much lately because of all the other factors I've got going on. But you guys are bossing it. Thank you so much for being a voice in a very, very important
don't say
time
me
period
voice.
for
You'll have
us.
people upset.
Yeah.
I said a voice. I said a voice. A voice,
You know
not
what
the
people
voice,
like?
because there's all kind of voices.
Oh,
No,
start crying.
and you know what, right? Yeah, people have got to understand that we need many voices.
Mm-hmm.
We need differing opinions, and it's okay to disagree about something, right? As long as you're not disagreeable about it.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, right? After that thing came out last Friday, that just I've never seen an executive cast a self vote of no confidence before, but wow, that's exactly what happened. And the result on the weekend wasn't what we needed it to be. Listen, I'm grateful for every point we can get at this juncture, but this team's got to score goals. They got to start winning. I mean, I don't know how to make it any everybody shouted at them, scream, shoot, get some big arrows and pointed it to goal. You know what I'm saying? I would be lashing it from half line, from midfield. I'd be lashing the ball at the keeper. Listen, let's get the Ryanair protester out. He can chain himself to one goal post, and old oil fella, old Lucas Oil can tie himself to the other. I mean, and we get the Goodison dog out, all right, and turn him loose. I mean, listen, I'll bring Big Gold in there and shine it in people's eyes. Give me a spotlight, and I can reflect it off the belt. I mean, I'm willing to stoop to any level necessary to stay up.
The good news is though, Nick, that belt now fits around your neck.
It doesn't though. That's the whole thing. I had to have them had a whole new button row in that thing, so it'll just fit around my big. Listen, Dusty Rhodes didn't have his neck as fat as mine right now, so. Yeah, I did. I got told I had a fat neck, and
That's
I took
the
it personally.
best thing a doctor's ever said to anyone.
Well, you know what? The whole thing is, I wasn't even in there for my neck.
I'm gonna say you were.
I was in there for
you weren't
something
even in the
totally
doctors.
different.
He was in there for something
No, I
totally
was.
different.
I was in the doctors for something totally different. I was going in about my busted shoulder. I got a torn rotator cuff, and I was like, "Yeah."
Bad
I was like,
too,
I said, "Yeah, it ain't no good." And so I'm like, I've got, listen, I've worn an oxygen mask for long periods of time for years of my life. So I've got sleep apnea, right?
Yeah,
so I wear a CPAP machine, right? When I sleep at night. I said, hey, that thing's been giving me a pressure headache. And he looked at me, not even addressing my medical concerns, and says, you look like somebody that needs a CPAP machine. You got a girthy neck. And I looked at him and I said, say what? He said, you got a fat neck. And I said, you ever been slapped by a patient? I said, because I'm about to loosen your teeth. I'm about to talk to your gums. You know what I'm saying? What 5 fingers say to the face? It said, don't tell me I got a fat neck. You pretentious. Dude, you just don't know. I can't get past it. It keeps coming back up. It's just fat necks, dude. And look at me.
This may be one of the greatest
It's just one of the
conversations
greatest.
I've ever been involved in my life.
Incredible.
You don't
I'm
get
just
that
saying.
on the NHS.
Girthy neck.
You don't
No.
get that. You don't get that.
Listen.
This is what junior doctors are striking for.
It's a different level.
And listen, and I'm paying for this.
I know.
Y'all know how much healthcare costs in the United States? I pay for the privilege of getting told I got a big old fat neck. You know what I'm saying? I paid for that.
But at least he's being real.
He's being honest, and he ain't he's not sugarcoating it. He's telling
He
you,
told me
all these woke doctors who won't call people fat neck. God, Tucker Carlson was right.
Dude, listen. No, he wasn't. And you know what? I'm gonna have to send our Tucker a fruit basket. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad for him right now.
Yeah,
I actually don't.
There wouldn't be any
I actually
fruit left
don't.
for you, fat neck.
No, because I was about to say, because I might just take it all and store it in my neck like chipmunks store nuts in their mouths. You know what I'm saying? I got to get that thing spreading
There
out a
we
little
go.
bit. I got to get that Kardashian neck going for the next match reaction.
This
But
is cool. This is
get
boss.
that ass neck. Get that Kardashian ass neck going.
Oh my
This has
God.
completely took my mind off Everton.
Yeah, there's no
This may be
football
one of
talk.
the
And that's
biggest.
exactly it was either going to be the ass neck or it was going to be the Flash trailer. I don't know
Arse
which
neck, yeah.
one, but I figured one of the two would work. So
Yeah.
while I'm sitting here emptying the dishwasher. So yeah, good
Is that a
stuff.
euphemism?
I don't know.
No, that's an actual. I'm
Okay,
actually
sorry, I
like,
wasn't
here-
sure.
Working.
I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
no,
Yeah,
no, I
there's the
wasn't.
dish. He's just
there's
done
the
it for
dish.
just
That
for.
could have been his neck.
Could have been his
Could have
name.
been his neck.
No, it could have been, but it wasn't.
Put
You got to wait for
Put
that.
that on the screen.
Live shot of
Live shot.
of Nick's neck.
No, we've got a
No,
live picture of you. Sorry, it's on
Yeah.
it's on the screen.
Oh,
You
good,
have to come back
good.
and watch it.
Yeah.
I'll have to. But
Well,
yeah,
tell us if
guys,
it's that.
guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. And I just wanted to say thanks for letting me rant for a minute.
That was
Yeah, coming soon to that Patreon. You know what I mean? You got to pay for that little extra.
That's
get
it.
Get that Astro ass neck
That's-
in there.
Well, that's
So,
what we're saving
there
up
you
for.
go.
That's
That.
what we're saving
That's
for.
what we're saving up for.
yeah.
You know, because
good
and the
stuff.
other reason why to have a big neck is if we do get relegated, we'll need those neck tattoos.
You will.
And you need
You
like
will.
a neck
Yeah, you
sleeve.
need the-
So we could have like a neck
You're gonna
sleeve,
need
couldn't
that.
we?
Yeah.
You're
Top
gonna
knot.
need that, but they better buy some more ink because
Yeah.
I don't think they got enough to cover this whole thing right now.
No.
It's out there. So good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right,
Top
guys.
man. Great conversation.
Thanks.
Top man.
Thanks, mate. I think you've solved all
Thanks,
the Everton
mate.
issues. See you later.
Ta-ra, Nick.
Listen,
Ta-ra, mate.
no worries, mate. That's what I do. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Up
see you
to
later,
Toffee's,
bye.
baby.
There you go.
Arsenic. I wasn't expecting arsenic as a
Arsenic.
phrase.
No.
Arsenic, maybe. Arsenic. No.
Toby Lerone says, "Where is the Astro neck money?"
Exactly. I don't know. Alex Kenny says, "Hi guys, been a fan of the channel for 5 years now. Finally joined Premier. Don't know what took me so long.
I don't. Couldn't have been much of a fan.
Well in, Alex. Well in. Arsenic.
Arsenic.
The Blues says that might be my favourite Astro story, you know. It's just,
Classic Astro.
It is what it is. I mean, TJ Mid, everything is bigger in Texas, even next apparently, but he's in Georgia.
In Georgia.
He's in Georgia, but fair play to you, everything's bigger in America. That's what we'd say.
Why would you think he was Texan? In Georgia.
Anthony Young says we're all after a good fat neck now. Cheers, Astro.
Well, people, for many years, I've been told it's all about the girth, and Astro's just proved it.
Geordie Tune for Life says, even on that tough game tomorrow night, I don't see a win for us. I see a 1-1 draw. Would a point be good enough for Everton, or is 3 points a must?
It'd be a must, I'd say, but at the same time, I don't think anyone's gonna sort of cry into the beer if we got a
No,
draw.
we're ended 1-1. Leicester's the win, innit? Leicester's the win.
Yeah, then it shifts all the attention onto Leicester.
It's going to be tough for us.
No, once
gonna
yeah, but
be
we played them then.
We've got Pete.
That's Pete.
On the
The call
line.
for flying tonight.
Pete, have you got a fat neck? That's the question.
I have actually, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Can you
then.
hear me?
Yeah.
There you go. Can hear you, mate. Yeah.
Flat neck sorrows. Oh no, love the stuff you're doing, lads. I've been watching right from the beginning.
Cheers,
it's a
mate.
bit like therapy. Now my bottle's gone over this Newcastle game.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean I go home and away.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. The even like 5-6 games ago, I was thinking it's only the home form that's going to keep us up because it just sucked the life out of me watching away from home. I can never see us getting anything. Whatever game it is, even like I thought Forest was there for the taking. I thought Palace were on Saturday.
Absolutely.
And we've just no goals in us away from home. And you've seen like the other clubs, like Bournemouth. You've always got a chance if you can score goals, I think. No matter how bad you are, if you've got goals in you, you've got a chance. In Bournemouth scoring 3. Southampton the other day scoring 3. You've always got a chance, but we just don't have goals. And I think ultimately that's what's going to send us down. Now, unless I think we get a win tomorrow night. But I do think tomorrow it'll be Goodison that beats Newcastle, not Everton, because I think we're going to need the crowd. I know Newcastle are a good side and they've done brilliantly and everything, but I think better teams have come to Goodison over the years and crumbled. Now I know they're not like, I know you've already said they're not like Arsenal where they've got a bit of a soft underbelly in that, but I still think with the Gordon thing and that, I think we can really get on their case, and I think we need the first goal.
Yeah. We always need the first goal.
Yeah, I know, because if Everton don't score first, we're certainly not winning the game, are we? But nah, I'm just I don't know. I'm a bit resigned to it. I think if we don't win tomorrow night, I think it's going to be a big one.
I think the thing with it is, I'm not resigned to it, but I'm more somebody when people talk about like have faith in that kind of. I'm not really a faith person. I'm more like an evidence person, and when you look at the goals, that is the thing that it doesn't terrify me. It actually grounds me. I think it's why I'm so calm. Like last year, I was just like losing my mind. Sleepless nights, all working out all the permutations, who's playing who. I am like last night. I would barely paid any attention to the game last night, and I think it's because, for me, when you look at how poor we had in front of goal, it's actually ridiculous. 24 goals in the Premier League. We've only scored more than one goal at home once against Crystal Palace, and when you look at those stats, you just think, we are actually lucky to be even in the fight. And I think in the last few weeks, I think there has been, I don't know, I think some of the games recently, I think some of the players have looked at the situation and gone, do you know what, it's almost like if we go a goal down, you can sort of see the confidence drain out of them in the last couple of games. Before that, not so much, by the way, because when we played like Forest and when we played Chelsea, we looked like we were in the games all the time. But I don't know, just in the last 3 games, maybe it was the Corey going out and maybe they weren't too happy with the way we set up. But you are right, it is all down to we've got to get that first goal and then we've got to hang on to it for dear life, and that requires the crowd, doesn't it? That requires the crowd being on the backs of the opposition, making them feel a little bit nervy, making them think, do I really want to upset this crowd? Because I know in the modern era, people don't like to hear it, but a little bit of hostility is not the worst thing in the world. You know, if Anthony Gordon's anywhere near that pitch, people should be on his back from the minute. And you know what? Doesn't matter why he left Everton. It doesn't matter what the reasons are, or whether it comes out that he was a big pawn in the whole Everton thing, or what, like, you know, what the players have. If he's the excuse to absolutely destroy Newcastle, if he's the reason we get on their backs, then use it. Use anything we've got. If it benefits us for 90 minutes, use it. You know, it is a game of footy. It's for 90 minutes. It is. Forget about all the niceties. You've got to get stuck into them, and that's us as a fan base as well. And if people use it horrible, so what? Let them. I couldn't care less. So let's just make it as horrible as it can be tomorrow at Goodison. Because I know that's not how modern football is supposed to be, but who cares? Everton aren't a modern club, so we might as well just follow suit.
That's difficult, isn't it? Because it's obviously the goals are the thing all along that have hampered us. It is amazing we're still in with a chance of staying up.
Yeah.
Really, when you look at, we've scored 24 goals. And we have got to make it as hostile as possible and get everyone involved in the game. They're a good side, the confidence, they're quite resilient as well. So we're gonna have to be alert, no stupid mistakes. But we do have Dominic Calvert-Lewin back, and he's huge for us. I think Onana will play.
We need him to come big, don't we? Oh. We need 2 or 3 goals from him before
him and the Corey
now and the end of the season. Yeah.
We need a talisman though as well, don't we? We need someone we can get behind. We need someone with someone that talked about on the match preview, like Richarlison did last season, who says, follow my example, follow me, get behind me, and I will. Listen, I don't think there's anyone amongst that team who could stand up and say, follow me, and anyone would believe it. And obviously, Don with his injury situation, I don't think anyone would actually believe he could string 2 games together. But it does need someone to just stand up and have a huge performance on the night, and then lead us forward so people can feel like they've got. I think that's what last season I said with Richarlison. I think that's what we all believed because he believed, and I think having that connection with the player who says, I will do this for you, and whether and we've seen sort of since with the connection with Richarlison and the fans, there's a player there where people will say, well, whatever happens, he did what he said he was going to do. I think it needs that. It needs somebody, and you know what? Even if we fall short or that player doesn't do it every single game, I think you just need that one player, because I think at the moment when you watch them play, I don't know whether anyone's really got the bottle to do that. Maybe I think Decore could be that player, because he sort of already said, well, I was nearly out the door, Lampard's gone, I'm staying and I'm going to do my job. So maybe he I know Dice said, well, he doesn't owe us a big performance. I think he does. I think Decore does owe us a big performance tomorrow night after what happened at the Spurs game.
Well, I think we beat Fulham. Yeah, and we beat Spurs. Would have beat Spurs on that night if Decore had been there.
I'm saying we beat all of them.
No, but I think we'd have beat Fulham, and I think we'd have beat Spurs. We wouldn't have done anything United because the way we are, but and then Palace said to Palace wouldn't have been a bad result then. Yeah. Those other 2 games are the ones that have hammered us, so I think United does owe us a performance.
Do you think the manager's let us down the last few weeks, being a little bit cautious?
I
mean, I'd have played. I'd have played Patterson, mate, at Palace, definitely. I do think he gives you a little bit of impetus going forward. I know he's not great going the other way, but we haven't got a lot going forward.
No.
So you've got to utilise what you've got. But then, is it one of them? It was a bit like with Garner and Calvert-Lewin, where he simply will not play anybody until they're 100% fit, will they either?
I think he's. I've said it before. I don't think he's covered himself in glory in the last 3 games, Sean Dyche. I think he's gone away from what we all kind of thought that he was in the last 3. Going from a system that we had in place because we lost 1 player to making mad changes for United was bizarre to me. And if he'd tried it that day, fair enough, it didn't work. Okay, that happens. But then to carry it on against Fulham, bring Maupay in from nowhere in a game where they've got 2 6-foot-odd centre-backs and then knocked up. He's just stepped away from what I thought he'd do. I just thought he'd stick to the same system that we'd used. That was keeping us in every game. But just put a different player into that. The
2 in midfield just doesn't work, does it? And
and
the mad thing is, if you when we play 2 in midfield, we can't get hold of the ball. So then we bypass midfield.
Anyway.
But if you're going to bypass midfield, put somebody up front who's got a bit about them. I know Sims is nowhere near what we need, and he's not the answer. But don't put Maupay up there. And just knock eyeballs into him. It's like having a child up front, isn't it?
It is.
It really is. So I don't know. That was all it was, lad.
No, it's
just a quick one.
You're absolutely right, mate. It is. It's frustrating and it's tough, and obviously you go home and away, so you go into every game. I've got a 10-year-old. He's watching now, and he's only missed, I think, Newcastle away this season. Yeah. Because it was a school night. I can't remember what it was. I don't know why I missed it. But anyway, missed Newcastle, and it's been so hard the last 2 years, keeping him invested. I know.
He's bawling his eyes out at every game. It's horrible. It's just hard work.
So. You know what, mate? I say this because obviously, we talk on Twitter and everything, Pete, don't we? So we know the thing. But I've got it with Zach. It's the same thing. It's like to be fair, he is invested this season to get older, blah 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 blah. But you just want them to be. You just want them to be even all right. You know what I mean? Not even talking about winning trophies. I'm just talking about being a team that can battle for a European place, but win games, and you can go. Even if we were never winning, it's grim to say it, and
You want them to have a bit of pride.
You should have some pride.
Give
You
us
should be
one
able
win in 4 away from home. I'll
But
take
you want
that.
them to have a bit of pride, don't you?
No, but a home game, you like go and win like home games, like 3-0 every now and again.
I mean, listen, I haven't got kids, thankfully. But I look at, but I do look at the situation. And you just want kids to have pride. You want kids to turn up at footy in their Everton kit with their hero on the back and be able to rib the Liverpool fans and say, well, at least we beat you this season at home, or whatever. There's absolutely no pride in being an Everton fan, and I've said this is another issue Everton face. It really is the issue of losing the fan base, losing those kids, because those kids have got everything else. And actually, it isn't sort of anymore. It isn't a thing to say, oh, well, I'm a Man City fan now. And you'd be like, when we were kids, it'd be like, you can't support anyone else but Everton or Liverpool. That's the end of it. But now you see kids everywhere wearing kits from all over. They're playing FIFA and they're playing as like either PSG, Man City, or whoever, and you want them to have that connection and that pride and have that person on the back of your shit. I mean, loads of people always say, like, certainly with my generation, when you got like, oh, how come why'd you love Big Dunk so much? And you're like, because you know what? When I was in my teens, that fucking fella went round and
he's my hero,
smashing into people, and you
took the fight to teams.
He was your connection on the pitch. When you needed something big, he showed up, and of course,
growing up, I always say that about him. It was crap in the 90s. I started watching in 93, 94.
Yeah.
But thinking back when I was a kid, all the big moments was Duncan.
Yeah.
All the big moments, and that's why I love. I mean, we went up to Morecambe to watch when Forest Green played there, and it was boss. But that's it. You just want someone. And the thing is, we sell all the good players.
I know.
Now. Like, you love Richarlison. He got Gordon on the back of his shirt trying to bloody latch onto him.
Can he get Mopai on the back this summer?
I know, yeah. But
that's all you want. That's all I'd ever want for anyone's kid. Is that's just that idea of I can turn up to training. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even today, I went to shop and I've got like an Everton jacket on, and I was just like, people are going to look at me thinking you're a dickhead. I think in my own city, that's not even my frame of references. People just look at you and go, oh, you tit. It's like,
but it's the other way though, when you can get a proper fan.
No, I know, but it is that thing of like, you want to walk around.
Start feeling ashamed.
No, I don't feel ashamed.
But
not for that, anyway. No. But you want to have that. You want to be able to walk around with your head held high, going, my club is sound. My club have got an amazing charity.
Like I've said to you, it's that thing of like go to mat, like talking about our kids there. Pete should be able to go to mats and sit there, watch Everton play decent attacking football, score goals, and if they're not good enough to win cups in the league, well, they're not good enough to win cups in the league, but they should at least be entertaining. They should at least have the ability to score goals, shouldn't they? No, but they should.
That's not asking for much.
It's not difficult, is it?
I know, and we don't score goals. It's mental
it's
how little we score goals.
The whole idea of football is to put the ball in the net. It's literally the whole idea. Put it in one end, keep it out the other. It's just berserk where we are now. It's just so bad, and it's like, what has happened to us? What has happened?
You have to get your almost like your football joy through other things, and that sadly means that you're like, in the last few years, you want Man City to win the league. No, it's like you don't really want Man City to win the league, because soon if they win a couple more, they go above us on leagues. And then
I was sat there the other night.
You watch Wrexham and you're like,
sat there and Gent scored, and I was like, knock West Ham, and then I thought, no, because why am I having to go West Ham? They do what they want.
Just get all bitter,
you know what I mean? It's just stupid. It's like, stop ruining footy for me, Everton.
Yeah.
Stop being knobheads. That should be everywhere. Just win, will you?
Sorry, Pete.
That's what it should be.
Pete, that's what I'm saying. If you'd come on here with some fat necks, we would be all right.
Fat neck.
It's your fault for ringing us and talking about Everton, Pete.
That's the next Tuesday topic.
Listen, we might win tomorrow, mate. We might win, and it'll be amazing.
Nice one, mate.
Take care, mate.
See
you, Pete. Ta-ra, mate. Ta-ra.
There you go. So you can still have a bit of a laugh when things are desperately bad.
You've got to try, haven't you? Dick L's in the comments.
Easy.
Says, I've only gone and had a cheeky pint on the way home, lads. The best thing about it is she doesn't know anything about it.
She got a skate.
He hasn't said.
Okay.
She sent me to pick up bread rolls and a couple of other bits, and I've done that, but I've also gone and had a cheeky pint. And the best bit, she has no idea.
Dick,
won't she smell it on your breath?
Can I ask you a question though? And we've got to be very clear about this. Can you tell me what pint you've had. Because if you come back with any of your Carlings, Fosters, Carlsbergs, or anything like that, I will be.
What about like cider or?
No, well, I just want to find out.
Oh, okay.
If you've got this one opportunity to have a nice pint,
What if you chose?
make sure it's a nice pint.
What if you chose?
Yeah, don't. If you've gone for like Carlin or anything, I would be bitterly disappointed with you.
Remember Castlemaine 4X?
That's awful.
What happened to it? Is that still around? Still a thing? Can't be a thing still, surely.
I don't know. I don't drink anymore.
No,
so-
well, not, I haven't drank for you, but I'm just asking you. You know, is there a thing?
Ned, no, he drinks crap.
He just thinks. Ned drinks Skull.
What do you think, Ned?
Nice stuff.
What, like what?
Hang on, why have you turned your camera off?
Because
Why have you turned your
Put your camera on.
Your camera off.
Put your camera
People
on.
want to see you.
Yeah, now put your camera
No,
on.
no, put your
No.
I will sack you if you do not put your camera on.
It's distracting to you.
Sack you.
Slice.
I will, look,
you can't do
I
that.
can't. I can't.
Right, I'm phoning John in Morocco.
Hands.
Put your camera on now. There you go.
That's unfair dismissal, you know.
It's not unfair dismissal.
It's
Have
not.
you looked at your contract?
Ned, what's nice? Go on then. What is it? You said I think nice stuff. What is it? What would you have? Seriously, don't like just make one up that you don't really drink.
Yeah.
What would you have? Don't go. Oh, when we go to
I go
Beer
to
Defend.
one. That's just nice. It's just like a nice original cider.
Okay.
What's a
But
nice?
what-
Hang on. What's a nice original cider?
So original
Did
cider
you
might-
make it yourself?
No, just like not like a fruity one, like a Copperberg. Just like a normal.
just means normal cider.
Like a normal
Cider,
It just
apple
means
cider.
normal cider.
Oh yeah, they have like summer fruity Copperberg.
apples are fruit, which is what
Yeah,
cider's
but what I mean,
made
it's
from.
like like a Magnus cider.
Okay, fine. Was that what? If your Hobbit mate said we're going for a bevy now, just like a cheeky couple of pints, is that what you would have?
If they had Madry, I'd get a Madry.
Madry's horrible.
I quite like
It's
Madry.
horrible.
No, but you've asked him what he likes.
I know,
You
but it's-
can't say it's horrible.
Carling-
I'm saying it's horrible.
Carling
You can't
tastes-
tell an employee
telling him
that
that
Madrid.
Carling tastes like piss.
You can't. No one should drink
I'm
Carlin.
just asking you. I don't need input. I'm just asking you. So it'd be a Madry or a cider.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. That's it. Leave it there.
Flat, quite cheap.
Foster's is
quick, but they're
disgusting.
cheap, but-
Madry
Foster's
is the
quick.
most Emperor's New Clothes beer I've ever known
I
in
know,
my
but
life.
if people like,
People were raving about it, and I had the pint, and I was like, "That's
yeah, but
horrible."
you don't like it, but other people do.
Well, other people.
I like
cider.
if I like thingy.
Toby Lerone wants you
A
to drink
Peroni,
Frosty
alright.
Jacks.
But I do, if I ever have a drink, and I very rarely have a drink, as you know, but I do like the IPAs now.
Fair play to you.
And that was it. Andy Mann says, Baz, nobody gave a 4X about it. It's probably still going in Oz. Not a bad beer, that.
Was it ever available in Oz? So was that just like the tag for
Remember
it?
the advert when, wasn't it the two lads on the beat and all that and stuff like that? That was 4X. wasn't
wouldn't give a 4X for another beer.
it? That one, yeah.
was it, wasn't it?
Cam's in the comments.
Cam.
Or someone's nicked this Mighty Blues Everton fan channel.
Okay,
It says straight into him tomorrow. Fingers crossed he'll start on the Anthony Gordon thing.
Okay, there you go.
Fair play. I mean, that would get Goodison going, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Really. But there you go. Nick F says Strongbow. And
Kane, Madry is horrible, mate.
Oh, Kane like
classic
Madry,
Kane,
doesn't
classic Kane. That you're all the beers in the world. You've travelled. You've had opportunities, and you drink Madry.
I'll probably
That's
have a
classic
Madry
you. That.
tonight. They've got
That's why it took you
Madry
8
as well.
years to get a new job.
Gavin Johnson says Skull Super.
Remember the Skull advert?
White
Like the Vikings.
Skull. That one,
Right.
yeah. Fair play.
Steve Kelly knows Kane. Steve Kelly knows.
What
He
does
knows.
Steve like?
Well, he just said Madry's disgusting.
Oh, okay. Fair play. I mean,
Nice. It's nice.
It's not. What it is it's nice if you haven't drunk nice beers. That's what it is.
What's a nice place? What's your idea of what's your go-to lager?
I don't. You
Not
are
beer.
well aware. I don't drink. I don't drink anymore. So essentially, what you're
Like
saying
I've
is
said
that
to
you're
you,
encouraging me to drink.
if I ever have a drink, it would be an IPA now.
Really, yeah.
But I don't drink, so I had. I don't.
That's what I was
I had
thinking.
one Camden Hells last on my birthday, the 15th.
That's not bad.
Which was nice, and I had the week before, I'd had one on my mum's birthday, and it was a Punk IPA.
Yeah, I like
and
it.
that was really nice.
Tiny Rebels.
That
nice.
was really nice.
Tiny Rebels.
But I only have one of them, don't I? I
Yeah.
can't drink. Mate,
Tiny
so.
Rebels, nice. That's a Welsh brewing company, and there's a brewing
okay.
company in Wales called it's in Porthmadog called Moose. I used
Nice,
to
yeah.
always get that when I was
Yeah.
in Wales. They've got a shop in Betty Cowan, but
Would you just not have? Are you like just?
I've
Is
not-
that it? Is it done now?
It's done now. It's not.
Forever? Do you think?
Yeah, I just don't see the point.
No,
I just,
mate, you
for me,
know that I don't.
No, for me, I just don't see the point. I have sourced out so many nice non-alcoholic beers. The Guinness.
So would you still drink a beer, but it's non-alcoholic?
Non-alcoholic, yeah.
Sound. I had a non-alcoholic one about 6 weeks ago. We may give it to me.
Some of them aren't.
I can't remember what it was. No, it was all right.
Some of them aren't.
Some of them taste.
Some of them aren't nice. Some of them aren't nice. But some of them are nice. And it's that thing of like once you start drinking them, you get used to the taste. Like I don't drink milk very often. I mean, I drink milk in here, but at home I never drink milk. So I have almond milk now, and I'm just used to the taste now. And it's the same with like the beers. I'm just used to the taste.
It's only
and I've sourced good ones.
It's your palate, just changing your palate.
Yeah, I've sourced good ones, and to me, you start having a beer. You start having a beer with your tea or whatever, or a beer late at night on a Friday or a Saturday night.
But it's
the Guinness Zero is gorgeous. You've got to get it nice and cold.
Yeah, no, I don't. Like you say, I haven't drank for ever in a day. I mean, the worst of my drinking lately has been with you in like Germany or in America. We had a couple, but not many. Not many, because I don't drink it. But
Ned drunk remember that time Ned drunk in America and he found him in the toilet?
Yeah, and he had two and said, I've been drinking whiskey and coke, and he'd literally
they found you in a toilet.
You were on the floor.
Like Rihanna was singing about you. Keep my love in a hopeless toilet. They found you in a toilet. Literally, what I heard is you went missing and someone found you in a toilet.
Next to Barry Williams' business card.
Yeah,
What it was.
true. Yeah, saying there was going to be a bloodbath or something.
In Hughes, every time I was getting to go to the toilet, it was harder to get there. So by the time I got
that's because you just thought you'd stay. Because you had 2 pints. You had 2 pints and you had the thing. 2 pints and a shot. You had the thing.
That would mean after like half an hour of being out.
Hang on.
Completely
gone. Ned, let's just stop there. We were in a bar in Washington.
American,
and you thought you were drinking vodka and coke, and it was just coke because we'd stopped them giving you vodka,
and you were getting giggly.
And you were like, "This is amazing," and we were like, "Yeah, it's boss, isn't it?" And you honestly thought you were drinking vodka and coke, and it was just coke. Don't say no.
I sobered up.
You didn't sober up.
You never bought any.
You didn't sober up. You didn't move.
It was all just coke.
You were chatting up a nice lady.
Yeah, and then you went to the hotel where we met Wayne Rooney.
Talking
and
business.
You thought the prostitutes were into you?
Mm-hmm. Ladies,
sorry, she would.
Working girls. Alex Kenny says...
If you had any money...
You'd have been there. You had to ask John for some money to take it back to the room. John, can I put this on business account? There's no man involved. Alex says, just a thought, fellas. Do you reckon if we want to progress going forward, one of the things we have to get rid of is the Ev culture?
Yeah, but the Ev culture. I know what you mean, mate. The Ev culture.
What is the Ev culture? Well, it's time for Everton.
Everton, well, of course, but that only exists because the culture is still amongst the club. We've said this loads of times. If you change the culture, you change the culture. If we got rid of those people that we know are pulling our club downwards, then things would change. If you had people at the top who were like puffed their chest out and said, we're going to run this club properly. And that doesn't mean spending a fortune and wasting money. It means running a club properly. And what it means is then you build an identity. And when you have big games, people turn up. And they turn up not just because the fans have welcomed them to a bus, but they genuinely turn up. It's an ethos. And it has to start at the top. There's no point us fans wanting all our things for our club and then the people at the top not that they can't deliver them, but not even attempting to deliver them, and then laughing at the fan base, basically, because that's what he did on Friday. He laughed at the fan base because all that creates is a frustration, and that's funny enough. That's what Newcastle had with Mike Ashley, and that's what their new owners eradicated when they came in. And we need to create that same thing, and that's what really Michele should have done when he came in. The first summer, he should have just said, you're all gone now, and what I've been doing for the last 4 months is I've been sourcing this guy who's world-class CEO, and he's got a world-class team, and he's coming in, and he's going to create this winning mentality throughout the football club, and it's not there. So of course we play our part in it, because we look at it and go, if we didn't laugh, we'd cry.
Cam says it, the pineapple one in Washington, so heavy. Remember, Cam, when Ned bought us the Gatorade and the extra waters? No, neither do I, when it was 99 degrees heat. Remember when he tipped the fella on the street rather than buy us a drink?
He tipped the fella started buying them. I mean, I got a thing, but
Incredible.
he tipped them fella who was
Incredible.
selling drinks out of a cart. He tipped them instead of using that money to buy extra drinks for them.
Because
It was 99 degrees.
Because
left
you
me in
bottled
bed.
it. You bottled it.
You left me in bed to
you
die
bottled it.
around the
How
tower.
did I leave you to die?
I said,
We
yeah,
were
I'll bet.
walking to the Washington Monument.
Gatorade.
How did I leave you to die?
I said, get everyone a water and a Gatorade because the humidity was like
It was 99% humidity.
It was like, yeah. And you went to buy them, and then you last minute you bottled it, and then just went.
No, I was never buying them Gatorade.
But you were, and then you went.
Sell
And then you
Gatorade.
went.
I went. Well, we'll get two of
But
these.
what
It'll
you
be
did
15.
was, and this is
Gotta
what
give them a 20.
This
so
is
you
the
get
thing where it's
$5
so
tip.
devious. This is the most devious thing. Instead of buying everyone the drinks, he give the fella a tip so he could say to you, "No, I'll give him a tip," thinking you'd go, "Ah, you're dead sound." You. I was like, the fella's put like a 60% markup on these drinks. No one
They were like $3 each.
John didn't even drink his. He poured half of it down my bloody neck.
But that's
He
up
went,
to
"Yeah,
you.
you look warm."
Me and Cam had to go and get our own. Nice one, mate. Abigail, hang on. Abigail says she loves Everton, but it's so hard at the moment. You're absolutely right. Andy Mann says the Corey will score the winner and be back in the good books. Oh, God, imagine. Toby Lerone seen Carl Pilkington in Portmaddock.
Fair enough. Fair play.
Louis says people need to stop calling us the Everton.
No, I never call it.
Who calls us the Ev apart from Liverpool fans?
Yeah.
Surely people, Evertonians don't call it the Ev. Surely.
Parley.
Go on, mate.
Hello? Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I hear?
Hey, so I wanted to ask if you knew this. I wanted to start with something positive, since the stadium is the only thing that's really positive going on at the club right now. I wanted to ask if you knew how much more the game day revenue would bring to the club. I saw some news the other day that the new Tottenham stadium generated some £70 million or something more than Everton did at Goodison Park last season. Does that make sense?
It does. First of all, where are you calling from?
California.
Brilliant. Whereabouts?
On the coast north of Los Angeles.
Okay, super. Sorry, that's just for me, not for no other reason. I just wanted to know.
That's fine.
That does make sense because their stadium is obviously it's in London. A lot of things are more expensive. It's 63,000, is it there, Tottenham, something like that, compared to under 40,000 at Goodison. So with that revenues, obviously they would be much higher anyway. I think for Everton, it will. Don't quote me on this because this is just some general figures, but I'm sure I saw something where it's like 12 million more than they're getting at the moment or something like that, which isn't a great amount, but that's without all the others. No,
doesn't sound like a whole lot.
No. So I don't know what that was actually for, whether that was factored. Well, it can't have been factoring in like the corporate hospitality and all that stuff, because obviously all of those prices aren't fully available for someone to have worked out. So that might have been on like the raw seats, as they're called, or whatever. Or just general.
If the pitch is going to be? Do you know if the pitch is going to be a multi-purpose, retractable?
No.
It's
not.
No,
it's
it was years. The irony is, it was when we were looking at a stadium 20 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think no, it's. I mean, obviously the stadium will be able to be multi-use in terms of concerts and other events, but I think the Spurs stadium is such a one-off with what the plans they had for it, and obviously the NFL situation, and obviously you've got the Bernabeu being rebuilt as we speak with similar features, and obviously again you've got the stuff with the Formula One deal that Tottenham have had. I think the simple fact is, certainly, I mean, listen, you're in California, you've got some of the greatest, probably got the greatest stadium in the world at the moment, which has just been built in LA, and we just don't have the same. We just don't have the same, obviously, ways of doing stuff here. Obviously, you've got like stuff going on in at Oakland, with obviously not being built, their stadium not being built, and they look like they're going to be moving to Vegas. Everton it just doesn't work like that here. Obviously, the clubs have to build stadiums; they have to cut the cloth accordingly. We have built a stadium which is more about the location than anything else, because Everton probably could have had a bigger stadium with maybe more stuff in it, but it would have been in a part of the city that is on the outskirts. It would have been, it wouldn't have had that romance of being on the riverfront and the really iconic looking. It could have been more. The stadium is smaller because the footprint for the stadium's smaller, but it's such an iconic location, and the stadium will obviously look amazing because of that, and it will get, I imagine, it will get various revenue streams because of that as well, because of where it is, rather than being stuck on the outskirts of the city. And that obviously prohibits multi-use as well. But Spurs' stadium was in the planning, was for NFL as well, wasn't it? It was part of the planning. Taking it away from Wembley. They'll probably have a team there in the next few years, I'd imagine, as well. So it's a different situation, and I think Everton have just cut their cloth. I think we'll make more money from it. It'll be a nicer place to go. It'll make more money before the game. It'll make more money after the game. It'll make more money during the week, because if anyone goes to Goodison Park in the week, it's basically shut. There's nothing to do there. There's no cafe. There's obviously a shop, but it's quite small in terms of how much it can sell. So you can't. There's less revenue streams. Before the game, there's very little to do with Goodison. After the game, there's nothing to do with Goodison. So we have got absolutely zero revenue streams really at Goodison Park, and I think as this gets built, I think number one, obviously it's going to have nearly 53,000. That could increase with rails seating. So it's not. It isn't. I don't think it should be looked at in terms of how much it's going to give us. I think you have to look at Goodison and look at how little that gives us. And the fact that Goodison Park is a very old stadium, and it has no corporate facilities. So I think a new stadium will give us a massive boost, but it definitely isn't a game changer. It's not going to push us into the elite. Of course, it's not. It's gonna just get us running on the same level as a lot of other Premier League clubs. But it's also needed. It was needed 20 years ago, really, for a club like Everton. So it's more necessity than anything else. And we'll see. Listen, we'll see. The club are very reluctant to talk about plans in terms of anything, really. We know there's a stadium getting built, we can see it, but none of us know what the ticket prices are, none of us know what the facilities are, none of us know what the facilities outside the ground are, none of us know how big a shop is going to be, none of us know what the dining situation on a non-match day, museums, none of it's been revealed. So it's really hard at this moment to make any kind of statements. But the other side of it is, obviously we'll have naming rights for it, because someone will want to put their name on the side of what will be such an iconic building, stadium within the city.
Trying to find here anything that has given an estimation. I've seen like Tottenham's on 90 million, Liverpool's 100 million with the renovation of the Annie Road. Just says Everton will grossly improve. So I guess without all of the final figures, it's difficult to actually say what that will. All we know is that it'll be 13,000, 14,000 more seats than what's that Goodison at the moment.
And the tickets will be more expensive.
Tickets will be more expensive.
More corporate. Yeah. And there'll be more day-to-day stuff as well.
So it's going to be better than what it is, I guess. Yeah. But that's where we're up to with it.
Still there? Ned?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Can't hear you, Pally. Have you muted yourself? No? Yeah.
Ned?
He's talking, but I can't hear him.
Tell him he's muted.
Type then.
Tell him he's muted.
You're muted, Pally. No? Yeah. Have you typed, Ned?
Yeah.
This is riveting.
This is
everybody.
Great TV. This is great TV. But as we saw in America last summer, the facilities, the difference in the facilities. I mean, we went to Baltimore, 25-year-old stadium, and when we went to, obviously we went and saw Minnesota Vikings.
Am I backward?
Go on, you're back, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So
Go
we
on.
don't know whether that helped your question or not.
Gone quiet again, Ned.
Yeah, I think it's like earphones have died. It's got wireless earphones.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the sound off.
Sound of the underground.
Am I back?
Go on, you're back. Go on. Keep talking.
Just keep talking and we'll pick it up.
On the player side, because I know you've talked a lot about that we need to sign wingers that score goals and a new striker and all that thing. But
Yeah.
in my mind, the first player that Everton should sign in the summer window would be a creative attacking midfielder. It's just to see how much a difference a player like Bruno Guimaraes and Eriksson does for United and he does for Newcastle. But we don't really have a player like that can really hold on to the ball and deliver a key pass to DCL and that kind of thing. What do you think?
Absolutely. Guimaraes has got better and better, hasn't he? I wasn't massively impressed with him last season, but this season I think he's been fantastic for Newcastle, and he has got better and better. And you're right, he is someone, he weighs in with goals, but he's someone who will put his foot on the ball and dictate the play. Eriksson has been doing it for a number of years, whether it be Spurs, Brentford, he kept Brentford up last season because they were free falling, and obviously he's at United this season, and he's had a couple of injuries, so he's played in patches this year because of his injuries, but he's a tremendous player. And no, we don't have anybody like that. We might have athletes, we might have people who close down quickly, but we've got no one really that puts the foot on the ball and is able to create. I don't think we've had that arguably since Ross Barkley left or when Wayne Rooney was in midfield. So
Gilbert Silverson's a little bit of a player like that,
but the thing with Gylfi though, he was up and down, wasn't he? He had no pace.
One pace.
He'd weigh in with goals. He would weigh in with goals. There's no question about that. Was he creative? You could argue yes, no. I don't know. But the kind
not
of player,
for the money, maybe.
The which,
Yeah.
the kind of player you're talking about, you're right. I don't think Everton have, and that would be someone to target. Now, obviously, where we finish dictates the kind
But would
of...
you do that first rather than get somebody on or a new striker?
I think we need them all, mate. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think we're in a position where we can go, we'll get that one in and then we'll look. We need a centre forward. We've proven this year we need a centre forward. End of story. That's a fact. Our wide players don't score enough goals. We're all patting Dwight McNeil on the back, and kind of rightly so. But he's still only got 4 goals. Other players, Newcastle come to Goodison tomorrow. 3 of their players are in double figures. Almiron being a wide player who obviously I've watched in MLS with Atlanta, and he took a bit of time to settle, but he's got it. So they're the kind of players we need, an energetic fit. I'll be honest, even though he's not really scored a lot of goals lately, but I like Cade Cowell at San Jose. I think he's the type of player Everton could do within a wide area. Loads of potential, quick, strong. But he hasn't got a great record of goals because he's a young player, so you'd have to marry that off with someone who is used to scoring goals as well. So with lots of work to be done on this side, mate, lots of work.
Don't you think? So I wondered what your opinion on the VAR system, how it is today. I know that there's only one referee in the VAR room, right? Wouldn't it be better if it was at least 3 and you would have to get 2 out of 3 for controversial decisions rather than having just one person that does it?
Yeah, but correct. That would be an improvement. I think me and Ped both believe there should be an independent company who takes over from there shouldn't be Premier League referees in VAR rooms. Right. Personally, I think he should be, and this could be ex-players from League 1, League 2 who need a career because their career is finished, and therefore if you're getting
like one referee and 2 ex-players,
exactly, if you're getting paid, exactly, 3, right? If you're playing in lower leagues in England, you're not earning huge amounts of money, and then you get a career that pays you, I don't know, just making it up 50, 100 grand a year by being a VAR official. You train for that and then you're in part of that. That would help it. And also for me, I think in case of every goal and penalty decision, the referee should have to go to the screen every time. I don't think you sometimes you go to the screen, other times you don't. I think you go every time.
I think we need to get rid of this clear and obvious nonsense. I think if a mistake's made, it's made. You've made a mistake. It shouldn't have to be clear and obvious. People make mistakes all the time. No one's gonna like hold them to that. If you've made it, the game is fast. The game is frantic. Referees do make mistakes. I was watching last night, Blackburn versus Burnley last night. Last minute, and it's a clear handball. Guy's got his arm out in the Burnley player, got his arm out like that. He hits it. Game just carries on. Game's too fast sometimes. It was.
I mean that Brighton got absolutely wrong.
Exactly, yeah.
And you could home a handball and the other handball.
That's Spurs, absolutely. Yeah.
And they don't give it because the linesman has put his flag up for it, and that. So if the linesman hadn't put his flag up for it and they'd gone to VAR, they would have given it. It doesn't make sense. No. It doesn't. All these it's all wording. It's all how it's written down on the paper. Rather than what's actually going on in the game. And like you were saying before, anytime there's a goal, I think the referee should just have to go to the video screen and make a decision for himself. It's as simple as that for me, because he is the referee after all, and he should use the video as a different way of looking at the system. The system's just wrong. That's all it is. It's just wrong. The technology.
Like the fixes are not that hard to do for a sort of. For your average, layman, these ideas like having a 3-judge panel rather than a single person, and what you're saying, Pat, is like it's not that hard to fix. I think it's just remarkable that they haven't gotten it right after all these years.
I think there's almost like an arrogance within the Premier League because it is because it's the best league in the world, or whatever you want to call it. There's an arrogance, and other countries are getting it right, and we saw it in the World Cup. I mean, how they're not bringing the technology from the offside in that they have in the Champions League and in the World Cup, I'll never know. Apparently they're bringing in more cameras next year, but why not just bring that technology in? It simplifies it, it gets it right. Just do that, like the goal line technology. But just allow referees to referee and give them the tools to do that, and don't put things down in writing that complicate the system. There's so much. There's all the little things like putting the flags up when goals have gone in and complicating the system. Why do that? A goal is going to be checked. You don't need to put your flag up. It'll be checked regardless. Let someone celebrate. Let someone enjoy the moment. And because I saw one the other day, someone scored, the flag went up immediately. The guy's like going, well, what's wrong with that? It took them 3 minutes to make the decision, and it was a goal. And it's still, you've took that moment off them. I know it's still a goal.
Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ruining the moment,
Yeah.
I have so finally I have a trivia for you guys.
Go on.
Okay.
Know this one. Which country outside of England or Scotland rather did David Moyes start his youth career as a player at?
Oh, see, I don't know, because now you've just muddied the waters. Now you've made it like you're clearly trying to make fools of us. So I'm resistant. I'm resistant to say where it was.
A youth career. Did he go to Ireland or something on loan, or did he go to Wales? I don't know. You've got us there. I've no idea.
Yeah, apparently he played in Iceland in Westman Islands, as an island of the south coast of Iceland. He played there apparently in one summer or something like that.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. I did not know that, so it's a good bit of trivia.
You've done us, you've megged us, and
it's on his Wikipedia.
Oh, well, it must be right then.
Okay, but that's fair enough. Fair play. You've got us with that one.
I appreciate Pat, that sometimes you will throw in a socialist bent on your commentary or comment on politics, and from a socialist point of view, I really appreciate it.
No worries. Hey, that's interesting coming from someone who lives in California. So that's good. That's fair play. Nice one. Great call. Make sure
it was a great call.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Cheers, pal. See you later. Bye.
Just off that call, saying, because I don't know, has anyone seen the SoFi Stadium in LA? Because it's unbelievable. So just having a little look at it then. Season tickets for the LA Rams, they start at $113 per game. includes the cost of your season ticket and seat license.
Seat license.
Seat license. 113. Open air, no walls, fresh. Allows fresh air to breeze through. Fair stadium with a roof, but open to the outdoors. And it's got canopy roof, semi-translucent roof, protects from UV rays while still allowing natural light to come in. But you know, when I looked at like what's on like right now, guess what the first event was that's on the 29th of April that you can buy tickets for right now?
I don't know. Could be anything.
Can it be ever?
29th of April.
Yeah. First event. The next event.
Next event. So
event.
like
You had WrestleMania
on Sunday. Dua Lipa.
Monster trucks.
Oh, the Monster Jam.
It's Monster Jam. Monster trucks. Because you can't have a world-class stadium without having monster trucks.
You can't, because what's the point?
No, what is the point?
What is the point? Spurs are trying to muddy the waters with Formula One, like go-kart. It's not monster trucks, is it?
TJ Mid says, how is there a roof and no walls? So basically, it's like, think of it like as a canopy. So it starts on the ground and then it arches itself over to the other side, but the sides are open to. So it's unbelievable. It's probably the best stadium in the world. I mean, we've seen a pretty good one, and we were like I was saying before, when we saw the Minnesota Vikings one. We went down and we had a little look. We had a look at that, and we had a look at the baseball one. They wouldn't let us in either, pricks. Right, they wouldn't let us in either. The security guard, the Minnesota Vikings, were like, I'd lose my job. And then we went to the baseball stadium, and they were like, there was some kind of charity driving, and he still wouldn't let us in, even though we told him where we were from. But the Minnesota Vikings, after we'd been to Baltimore and seen that, we were like, 25 years old, yeah. Oh, yeah. But when we seen the Minnesota one, just got a stadium, basically, it's like a stadium, and then you got a greenhouse and put it on top, wasn't it? It was like a stadium, what you'd think was a stadium, and then a big glass box put on top of it. So it was obviously an indoor stadium. And then we went past the University Stadium, which was massive, and then we got to the Allianz where Minnesota United play, and that was amazing as well, because it's got that kind of Bayern Munich feel, like a mini Bayern Munich stadium, but on the inside you could just walk all the way around, shops, restaurants. Unbelievable the way they do it over there. Yeah, it was unbelievable. But I mean, the Baltimore was 25 years old, and it felt completely like a different world. It was all concrete, and it wasn't particularly nice. It was sort of, the area was very industrial, wasn't it?
Like a big prison,
like warehouses and stuff like that, and it wasn't a very nice. They were saying we need a new stadium and stuff, and when you went to those other ones you understood why, but America are street because obviously their teams can move and you can threaten to move, and like I said, the Oakland A's, the team from Moneyball, they're apparently moving to Vegas.
Yeah, and they'd throw them two up.
They're apparently moving to Vegas because Vegas are prepared to build them a stadium. And also, obviously, the Raiders moved a couple of years ago, and Chris from the Redmen went last year to watch a Raiders game. And he said it was all air conditioned. He said, and anyone who's been to Vegas, Jesus Christ, it's like breathing in a hairdryer. But he said it was all air conditioned. He said it was amazing, absolutely amazing. They're the two most modern stuff.
Oh yeah, that was the Minnesota Vikings. So that's what it was like outside the US Bank Stadium.
Were you just taking that picture on your own, and he just got in?
Yeah. And then the other one, Ned, which is
got it now.
As he's got it, you'll see it again in a sec. But that was what it looked like outside. It was amazing, and they had the Viking thing at the front,
they had like a Viking ship. They had a Viking ship outside, and the sail was a screen. Nah. It was unbelievable.
And that's what it.
That's the inside.
This is the inside and the sec.
But you know what was so weird about that stadium?
That's what it looked like inside. So what was
so weird about that stadium was there wasn't a soul around. The shop was shut. Everything, when we talk and we say, oh, you got to be like American and you've got to be like somewhere you can go all the time. That stadium didn't have a soul in it. But had one guy, we knocked on the door and he came in, he was like, there's cameras everywhere, I can't let you in. And honestly, and then we went to the baseball stadium. I mean, don't get me, the whole downtown was quite quiet itself, wasn't it? Yeah. Everyone was at the mall. Everyone was at the mall. The whole downtown was quite quiet, and obviously there's no games or anything, but yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But when you compare that to when you go to like the New Camp or Camp Nou,
yeah,
and it's just like berserk. There's just people everywhere. Right, we're done, I think. Rafa Rahmani says Cronkies are serious. That stadium is something else. St. Louis fans hate their guts, though. Lol.
Yeah, of course they do, because it was their team, wasn't it? It was their team, but that's America for you, isn't it? It's all about the dollaroonies. It's all about...
If you've got the dough, you say you have. Brian says, what are the odds on Everton getting a penalty tomorrow? Terrific mix of callers tonight. I don't know. Why would Everton get a pen, Bri? Why would it be even better? G says, a while ago, the S projected we'd make about 50 million more a year at Bramley-Moore, but we'd more than likely be paying 30 million a year in interest on loans for it. Lots of variables.
We won't be paying any interest on any loans because we haven't took any.
Andrew says, when I was in Canada, I went to a baseball game and the stadium was amazing. Most of the fans are walking around shopping for most of it in the stadium, as you could walk right around the whole thing. I'd love to see this in England. Yeah, that's what they like.
Well, I've asked about the stadium of Bramley-Moore, about whether, because it was only actually something that come to mind a few weeks ago about what you can do inside, because obviously we went to a couple of stadiums in Germany and you could basically walk around the whole stadium until you got to the away end. So I asked recently about that and there was no definite answer on it, but basically I was told that at least two sides of it, I think the east stand and the north stand, will be one big block that you can walk around, because obviously then you'd get to the away end, and obviously the south stand is sort of on its own. So I think, and because so I think at least two sides of it are going to be fully open. It's a shame the whole thing's not fully open by the away end, but I don't know. Maybe the provisions. I know some stadiums I've been to, they have almost like temporary walls. Or temporary big doors, sorry, so they can be opened.
Oh, okay.
If it's if it's a concert or something, or it's a certain event, there's lots of stadiums like that. So it'd be great if you could walk pretty much all the way around it. It would make sense to me.
Toby Larone says, Ned, my nana's a pitch in the car boot sale every Sunday if you're looking for a job. That's obviously because of the poll, which is...
Say, no, I'm only messing on the poll.
Yeah, we are.
I just like, what I like to do is scare Ned once in a while. Get him going.
You just can't do that.
Can you not do that?
You can't just ask the YouTube community.
Is it unethical?
Is it unethical?
You can't ask YouTube community.
Why though?
If you should sack
well,
your
hang on. To be fair, Ned.
Manager.
To be fair, you know the people who watch YouTube and pay for Premier, they're essentially paying your bills, aren't they? They're essentially paying your wages.
So they're like almost like shareholders.
Yeah, they're shareholders in you, Ned. They own shares in you. So that's what we're talking about. Like,
my shares have gone up recently.
Have they gone up? I'm not 100% sure of that.
No,
I'm not 100% sure of that.
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Your shares flatlined a very long time ago, and I don't know whether they've got themselves back up there. But
we do all like you, Ned. We keep you on your toes.
I mean, you say that 63% of the people on the poll want them sacked.
Yeah, but that's fair. That's fair.
If it does end up on paper that I have indeed got ADHD, my shares will go down.
I mean, I don't need a piece of paper to know that you've got ADHD. I just know that. If you go to the doctor and get tested, you've got ADHD, and maybe that'll But the thing is, though, Ned, that's not true. If you got tested and you got you've got ADHD, and you started taking tablets, your shares would go up. Yeah, because we'll have solved a problem called Ned.
More stable performance.
Yeah, that's it.
You'd start coming in and just spinning on your back and stuff.
At the moment,
dropping bars.
At the moment, you're playing with an injury.
Yeah,
and you're not quite.
You've got to get to the bottom of it, Ned.
You're not quite fit.
It's my knee what needs sorting out.
Well, it's the fact that you think you can play football is one of the big issues.
And half of it is when you've got a bag full of chocolate on a dodgy knee.
You walked in with a bag full of chocolate on that dodgy knee,
and that was it.
And that's it. So basically, that's double problems, isn't it? It's not helping.
Double bubble.
It's making you fat, which you are skinny fat. We all know that.
No,
you're skinny fat. Come on, you're skinny.
I've lost a lot of weight.
No, you haven't.
My body.
No, you haven't.
It's fine.
No, this is why you need a girlfriend to tell you that you're fat.
Or Nick's doctor. Apparently, Nick's doctor has no problem. No problem.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good. Right, we're going because we're over time, and I can hear them preparing.
Yeah, they're prepared. Well, who cares what they're prepared?
I know, but I don't want to be infected by their enthusiasm of winning football matches.
Are they playing?
They're playing West Ham away. Yeah,
they're playing West Ham away.
Colin Taylor says, last one, hello lads from Sao Pedro in the Azores on a ship. A few Evertonians on here listening to the show. Great work. Is right, Colin Taylor and the Evertonians who are on Sao Pedro in the Azores.
The Azores are a bit weird, aren't they? Because they are that like weird island and sort of like in the Atlantic.
You can't just say the Azores are a bit weird on a live stream where people from the Azores are watching.
That phrase, don't
I can say whatever I want. I really can say whatever I want.
Colin is right. Hope you're having a fantastic holiday, mate. You and the fellow Blues. Well, I don't know. I'm saying he is on holiday.
A trawler.
He might be a trawler. He might live in the Azores. He might be the captain of the ship.
There you go.
Colin. You never know. You never know.
He's the captain of the ship and you just really upset him.
Why he doesn't own the Azores, does he? He doesn't own the Azores.
Surely he must have some sort of...
Why?
The Azores.
Hang on,
He must have an affiliation to the Azores.
He's the captain of the Azores ship.
We don't know if he is.
He's not the Azores
I said
ship.
he was Colin. I didn't say he was the captain.
Ship.
It's
Captain
not.
Colin,
It's
it makes
not.
perfect sense.
It's not like does St Helens have a ship that someone is the captain of?
It even sounds like he's from the Azores. His name's Colin.
Where are the Azores?
In you know,
Where are the Azores?
You know what a
islands, you know.
Where's the Azores?
You know.
Where are the Azores?
South America.
South America.
Yeah.
There you go, Col. I hope you're enjoying your time in South America, in the Azores. You know those famous Azores? And you know all those famous people called Colin from South America as well? Because that's what it is. It's a South American name. I'm not being... You are fucking sacked if you behave this. Continue. See the way I got him scared there.
He looked away terrified because he's just realised.
The Azores are in South America. And now he's like, I better get on Google and find out where the Azores... You wouldn't even find the Azores. Yeah.
Are actually
in the Atlantic.
Island. Oh, I didn't mean South America.
He meant Portugal.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He didn't mean South America. He meant Portugal.
That's what I meant.
Which is fine.
A lot of people make that mistake, though.
They do.
They go, oh, where you going on holiday? They go, I'm going to Portugal. Oh, yeah, where about? The Azores. Oh, no, sorry. Didn't mean
South
that.
America. Oh, you going by Brazil?
Yeah.
I got them mixed up with the Caribbean islands.
You got the Azores mixed up with the
which,
Caribbean.
Which,
because remember that film with Johnny Depp? Pirates of the Azores. Remember that?
Lovely places.
Which one? Which Caribbean islands did you get mixed up with? Mull. The Isle of Mull.
No.
And Kintyre.
That's not real.
It's not real.
The Isle of Mull isn't real.
Kintyre is.
Are you
I
messing?
know a Caribbean island. What do they call it now?
What do they call it?
No, I know it because Jurassic Park was filmed there.
It's not in the Caribbean. That's not in the Caribbean.
Dominican Republic.
Filmed Jurassic Park in Costa Rica.
Isn't Aruba near the Caribbean island?
Aruba, Jamaica.
Aruba.
Ooh, I wanna take it.
That's what I was thinking of. Not as Aruba. I got them mixed up.
Not the Azuras.
Azules. That was the bad guy in Ghostbusters.
Carla said this is just like the Guantanamo Bay water park all over again.
If you tell me there's a water park we're going to called Guantanamo Bay and I've never heard of it before, I'm going to believe you, aren't I? So if someone said, "Oh, have you heard of Southport Pleasure Beach, whatever it's called?"
Southport.
Oh,
Is that a boxing
if
thing
someone
there?
says, "Have you heard of
Southport Pleasure Beach?"
World," I say no. I'm going to say I've never heard of it, so I don't believe you. If you tell me there's a Bosch water park and we're all going to go there, we're in America called Guantanamo Bay, I'm going to get excited, aren't I?
All I said was they do good water.
And why would I know what Guantanamo Bay is?
If you go on TripAdvisor, it gets 5 stars for waterboard.
It's very cleansing, very clean as well. A bit like
Very
the
clean,
Thanos.
like the Thanos.
In Birkenhead. Good parking.
Remember when we just eaten in the mall and they're like, anyone going to go on a roller coaster?
Yeah, we literally
just eaten.
So I literally had to. I couldn't move.
Mini golf.
No, you said that loads of times, but you wanted to go on the roller coaster. The mystery drink, the $4 mystery drink. That was after.
Bottle of water. Got this for £1.
And then the NPC turned up, and that was it. Oh,
she walked past us 4 times.
4 times the same direction. It's tremendous. Tremendous. Right, we're going. Thank you all for joining. Hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to Toffee TV Football as well.
We'll be on
Thank you very much.
tomorrow, 1:30.
We will. So take it easy. See you later. Bye.